Hi, everyone. This is Manoj Javid from Mona Foundation. I'm so happy to be here again live with you to introduce you to another one of the schools that we have supported for the past several years, Badi School in Panama. As you know, we started the series about a few weeks ago as a way of really trying to provide you from from directly from the leaders and those who or have founded or are currently leading the projects that we're supporting, the story of these projects and really the impact that your support is making as they go from one year to the other. So it is today's my very special pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Alexis Torrez. He's the son of Mr. Oscar and Mrs. Torrez, who actually founded and have Badi School many years ago in the carport of their home, and now to a full K through 12 school serving 450 students in outskirts of Panama and considered one of the best schools in the whole entire country. So please help me welcome Mr. Alexis Torrez, who is as mentioned, who's the son of Mr. and Mrs. Oscar Torrez, the founder of Badi Foundation. Alexis, I'm so very happy to have you on this call and welcome.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you.
I'm glad to. Thank you so much.
Well, I know that you're in a very remote area. You're connecting with your cell phone because you don't have any internet connection. So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, Alexis, I wondered whether you could just give us a short story of how Badi School was founded, and why it was founded, and then give us a brief outline of sort of the number of students you have and the programs that you support across.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's a really amazing story. Badi School had been founded 25 years ago, and it started just like any entrepreneurship in a garage. There are many stories about these companies that started in a garage. Well, but this garage was my parents' home, and my mother made a huge sign that was written as Homeworks. The only word in the sign was Homeworks. So the idea of my mom was to serve the community, guiding into Homeworks for the kids that were in the community. I was part of those kids, my brother too. So while she was helping us in our homeworks and also giving us some lunch, she did this for several kids in the surroundings.
So could you tell the audience a little bit about the environment or the area in which the school was located?
Yes. My parents moved to this area. It's a very calm area, but nearby to a very difficult community, which is called San Miguelito. Mm-hmm. If you Google San Miguelito in Panama, you may find out that this place is one of the most difficult social economic places in Panama, where there are all these social economic issues as violence, families not well established, even drugs or low level educations. Mm-hmm. So we moved there, and this is in the border with San Miguelito. Even though Badi School is inside the community of Panama City itself. Actually, even nowadays, more than 80%, I can assure you 90% of our students come from this area.
Yes, that's very important for everyone to know. I've been there several times and I can visualize it, but I think it's good for the audience to also get a view of that it is bordering a community that is social, is facing incredible social economic challenges.
Yes. So continuing briefly with the story, then all these parents request my mother, what about if you can teach our smaller kids into kindergarten or first grade? So then my mom asked my father, and my father said, okay, go and ask the Ministry of Education if you can found kinder. And I remember that day when my mom came and she said to my father, we just got the approval for pre-kinder, kinder, and also first grade. So that's how the school started.
All right.
Since then, we accomplished with all these requirements that the Ministry of the Education asked for the government asked for private schools.
Yes.
Even if it is a private school, we handle it in a way that we could serve the community, having a really low tuition,
yes.
and also giving some scholarships for ourselves.
Yes.
And also we had this experience of Monad Foundation also helping us into giving some more scholarships.
Yes, yes. So it started in the carport of your garage, and over time it has grown. And how many students do you have now, Alexis, right now?
Right now we have a little bit more than 400 every year.
Okay.
Yes.
400.
From first grade to 12th grade.
Wonderful. That's amazing. And I know that you really have outstanding programs around technology and arts and humanities. So if you could just speak to the...
Yes, I can tell you briefly some of this.
Yes.
First of all, I want really to underline what is the final result after 25 years.
Yes.
Is that these kids that come from these difficult areas, the way they look life really changed. They know the situation that they have back home. They understand their parents, and now they're educating their parents. Parents are embracing these new values and virtues of their kids. And now, after 25 years, we've seen these kids forming families, already being in the tax area of community service or task force of working. And even I'm seeing these kids now with families, and their kids are now in the school.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Very amazing.
Yes. And I know that you have a tremendous, particularly arts and paint, arts technology program. I want to just ask you to please first talk about your technology program and then the arts.
Perfect. Yes, in the technology part, first we started with, we had good support from Monad Foundation to supply our computer lab, because we had these ideas and a way to improve our programs. So we need the hardware part. And in the hardware part, we handled it in a way that was, after a first little investment, we could continue auto-sustainability for it.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We got most of the computers are Linux-based.
Yes.
I don't want to be very geek on this, but it's a way so we can have computers that have low maintenance, low energy consumption. We're saving 3.2 tons of CO2 every year. Even now we have more energy efficient, that we added solar panels last year to the computer lab.
Yes, we love that. Yeah,
yes.
We heard about that. We're so excited about it, because then you have continuous source of energy, but it is very environmentally friendly.
Yes.
And obviously with a lot less footprint environmentally. So
that's the hardware part. And in the area of education, we did some research. So even one of our graduates that he's now working in a company, I will reserve the name of the company, but it's a very international company. He teach our computer teacher the new programming, and together they built a new booklet so we can guide the students for these years.
Oh,
This was have been started last 3 years ago,
all right.
and for next year, we even found some a small electronic kits, which is called Arduino. Is a very wise way to teach robotics and some electronics. So we are going to introduce this on our program too.
Well, that's wonderful, Alexis. And I know that you're the technology instructor in the school, and you're engineer by profession, and very tech savvy, and instructor in the program. And I remember the first day when you were building the classroom, and then next step when the computers were installed, and then with incredible ambitious, you put this ambitious program in place to advance it to where it is right now, where you're thinking about robotics and all the other stuff. So that's really great.
Yes.
What about your arts program? Could you talk about
Yes.
your arts program? Because I know that there's an amazing arts program in your school, and I think that the audience would just love to see it.
Yes, excellent. The art program is amazing. We start with the kids in seventh grade, and
Yes.
in seventh grade they start with very basic art program, and then year by year they move from one technique to another, using different art painting techniques. Even though the University of Panama had checked that the level of art program that we have is really higher than the university too.
Wow.
These kids get so excited that even the art program ends, I feel, in 11th grade. They started art club 2 years ago. So they continue drawing after school. Kids really in Badi school, they want to stay at the school after hours.
Wow.
So we create some programs, and also they do create. So they create math club, some sport clubs too. And there's this last years we started also a band. But the art program, the key is not the high quality that we have. The key is what virtues are developed during the painting of this art.
Yes.
Through all the years, kids develop patience. They develop the appreciation to art. They develop, a vision of what should I show. The last paintings in 11th grade, for example, they paint landscape from different cities. So the vision that they get is really out of this box experience.
Yes, I'm showing right now a picture of the students in your school. I hope that, let me just minimize myself so that you can see it better. But this is the wonderful kids in school attending some of the programs there. So that's very nice. And we will share on site as we are talking in our Facebook post pictures of the art classes you have. I know that your father started it as a way of, like you said, he is a painter himself. He's, of course, an engineer by profession, but he's a painter. And he started the program as a way of teaching some of the very active students how to learn how to be patient. And really, it really evolved to one of the wonderful programs in your school. And I believe that you had one of your graduates who became the young artist of Panama a few years ago, who is now has her own gallery, and the graduate of a architectural university. Congratulations.
One of the graduates got a first place award 3 years ago. And also for the art program, this graduate and two other more continue giving back to the school. They come back and they are now teachers.
So yes, I know.
This is happening all over our programs in math, virtues. The example I gave you about the computer lab, this kid He's now working for a company. He come back to the school to teach our computer teacher new techniques. So this is amazing how they're coming back.
Wonderful. I think Melina, who is our program officer, is online, and I'm going to ask her, as we're talking about these programs, to please also post pictures of your arts program, your computer program, so forth. Alex has also wanted to share with our audience the impact of the school on the community, and I thought maybe you could talk a little bit about your junior youth empowerment program and the service projects as a result of it in the neighboring community.
Yes, since we are really, kind of a small school, there are some schools that have thousands of students. We want to expand, but not in a way to grow in this as a difficult to manage school. So we want to really share the knowledge the kids are having and the experience that we are having with others. There are several ways. One way that we're doing this is we have this sister school. It's a public school that we go every year with our kids of 11th grade as a way they have to do some social service as a requirement for the government for the final certificate. So they give several hours teaching virtues. So these virtues, they have learned through these 12 years of in the school, where they create their own manual of life. So little by little, they earn this knowledge about honesty, sharing, appreciation of art, all these. They write their own book, and then they share this to smaller kids in these public schools. And these public schools are very difficult to handle. But the kids there are very perceptive. They receive this information, and the authorities every year really ask. They come to the school and say, "How many kids are you going to send this year?"
Oh, that's amazing. So I love this whole idea that you mentioned, but I wanted to expound on it a little bit. This idea that your students over the 10 years, so the 12 years that they're in school, they sort of record their own manual of living.
Yes.
Like what they have learned about different, different
methods.
Yes. Different capabilities, different virtues, different ideas. But they create their own manual. So every person has its own manual. They own self-created. And then they go to this other public school, sister school, to share it with the students. And because it comes from one of their peers, of course, the students are open to it.
Yes, it is. It's really beautiful. And the experience that they had at the end of this service is amazing. Even though these have 12 years of learning, coming back of this service, their life really changed. And also it's an impact in their community and in their own families.
Oh, amazing. That's great. Alexis, this has been wonderful. We've been your partners for a while now. We've seen you grow from a elementary, I think when we started with you, we were in 4th, 5th grade or something. But right now, you've built up to K through 12. You have a full library that has thousands of books. You have a wonderful computer lab. You have an incredible arts program. Extensive music and band program. I was wondering, and then of course this whole idea of giving back and service to the community is part of what you're teaching your students.
We're really thankful. All this, it's like a little bit of a move. It's like helping us to get into the next step and another step. It's like having, parents. I feel Badi School feels really like, this kid that is being growing up and now have 25 years old, now getting into the real job, finding that we are building families. So we see the community growing, we see our kids growing, and also our teachers having this experience. So I'm really happy. My parents sends a lot of greetings.
Thank you.
And we feel that in the upcoming years, if this started this way and it's moving forward this way, we're going to see very amazing things.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much, Alexis. Thank you for taking the time and being with us. To our friends on Facebook, I wanted to thank you for being with us. I think this Badi school in Panama is an incredibly sort of archetypal example of a successful and effective social economic development project. It starts small at the grassroots by the local community and individuals themselves, and they grow organically one by one year over year, and they respond to the needs of their community. Mono Foundation, I think, started assisting Badi Foundation, Badi School, as they were extending their program. So if they needed a classroom or a library or computers or funds to purchase a land or whatever, we helped them sort of build up and progress. But then now, after so many years, they're completely self-sufficient. They're standing on their own feet. They're leading their own schools in the community, making incredibly impact. And so our support, our partnership right now is very minimal and minimized to providing scholarships for students who do not afford even the very low the tuition that Badi
Yes.
Again, we're thrilled that you were able to join us. We're very proud of Badi School and your accomplishments, and look forward for many years of continued collaboration ahead.
Thank you very much. We're really happy to serve, and also I hope the people that are watching this video, this interview, you're really welcome to see the school anytime and see with your own eyes. These kids are really amazing. It doesn't matter where they live or how their families are, and they change the way they live, the way their family live too, just with education. The key is education. Everybody says it's education, and given to this project and some other projects that really help education really makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. I hope you enjoyed. Wish you a wonderful, wonderful, of course, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful year ahead. And again, we thank you for your support of our work and the work of our partner projects. Have a wonderful evening, and bye-bye.